Hey everyone, my name is Josh and welcome back to your fourth stimulus package and news update. In today's video, we have a lot of news to get into, but first, if you would like to receive 2 free stocks from Webull, valued up to $2,300, make sure to claim them by clicking my link, which you will find in the description box below. Okay, so yesterday, Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez reintroduced a bill that would aim to expand Social Security benefits. This bill is called the Social Security 2100 Act, and Democrats hope to add some measures that would attract just enough Republican votes to be able to get it through. First off, it would set a higher minimum benefit for low-income workers. For example, benefits would be set at 125% above the poverty line and would also be tied to current wage levels. Additionally, the annual cost of living adjustment would be tied to the consumer price index for the elderly, which arguably better reflects the cost seniors face. In order to avoid the Social Security Trust Fund running out of money, they would force Americans who earn over $400,000 per year to pay Social Security taxes on that money. As of right now, Americans only pay taxes on the first $142,800. Here is Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, D-Twitch, reintroducing the new bill.
When I was a kid, I thought Social Security was largely a benefit for retirees, and especially young people. It's so important for us to know that Social Security is there for all of us. When we lose a parent, a spouse, or God forbid, having an unexpected diagnosis or accident that leads us to have a disability that we rely on Social Security for to help us ease our way through. When I was a kid, my dad passed away due to an unexpected cancer diagnosis. I was the daughter of a domestic worker, and Social Security checks helped my family through. It's why my brother and I were able to go to college. It's why I felt confident while I was at college that my mom would be able to have something to eat. And to have that social safety net isn't just good for us individually for peace of mind. It helps us feel like we are part of a society that respects our elders and values our vulnerable. After I graduated college, in the wake of the Great Recession, it was devastating for working families like mine and my family. And after, I worked in a restaurant as a waitress. Every year, when I did my taxes, I saw how much I contributed to Social Security as a waitress, thousands of dollars per year. What we want to do is make Social Security better, to expand it, to cover people like my mom, who left her job to care for my dad while he was ill, to raise the age of young people up to the age of 26, so that those kids that are working through college can also get a little bit of that leg up. And we want to do that by asking the wealthy to pay into Social Security the same way that I did when I was a waitress. It's pretty simple. It's pretty basic, and it's a way that we can make our society better by feeling like we are part of a society that cares for each other no matter what, no matter our job, no matter our status, and no matter what happens to us in life. And that, to me, is part of being a wealthy, prosperous, modern, and compassionate society. And I thank Representative Larson for championing this legislation, and to all of our colleagues for ensuring its passage and its continued support. Thank you very much.
Okay, so other than the reintroduction of the bill to expand Social Security benefits, Democrats in Washington are also looking to pass the 2 major bills. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi had hopes of passing the infrastructure bill this week, but yesterday, the leader of the House Progressive Caucus, Pramila Jayapal, said that progressives won't support that bill without first reaching agreement on every single detail on the Build Back Better plan. Jayapal said, until we have a full agreement from everybody on the House side and everyone on the Senate side, then we won't move forward with the infrastructure bill. Until then, the vote should be held up. That means until they're able to reach a full agreement with Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema on how much should be spent, what will be in the bill, and how it will even be funded, we won't see the other bill pass through. Of course, Democratic leaders continue to say that they're on track to pass both bills very soon, despite seemingly still being pretty far apart. Here is the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, saying that they are on track to getting a final deal done.
With the President and with Senator Manchin about our agenda. We had a very good, productive conversation there, and we continue to move forward and continue to have good conversations through the weekend and up to right now. I believe that we will get this done, and we will get it done soon. I know that Democrats in both chambers are working really hard to get this consequential, desperately needed legislation across the finish line. No one ever told us, no one ever said that passing transformational legislation like this would be easy, but we are on track to get it done because it's so important, and it's what the American people need and what they want. And I want to focus on the impact on Americans, working class Americans, middle class Americans, poor Americans, those struggling to get into the middle class and those trying to stay there. The challenges our country faces now are significant. The world has changed so rapidly, and we have to deal with those changes and make people's lives better and easier. That is our mission. Things are a struggle today for 75–80% of Americans. Only those at the top have the wherewithal to deal with all the new changes on their own.
At this point, one of the disagreements continues to be the total price tag. Senator Joe Manchin wants to spend $1.5 trillion maximum, whereas progressive Democrats want to spend at least $2 trillion. In a recent survey conducted by YouGov, 53% of residents in West Virginia, Manchin's home state, think Democrats should scrap the reconciliation package altogether. They believe that this spending may lead to higher taxes for the middle class, in addition to higher interest rates and inflation. Only 32% of people in West Virginia believe that Congress should go ahead and pass the spending bill, so this should give Manchin even more reason to not increase his price tag. In Arizona, 47% of residents said that Congress should not pass the reconciliation bill, whereas just 37% of residents agreed with it. This is Kyrsten Sinema's home state, which, just like Manchin's, overall aren't huge fans of the bill. Other than the overall price tag, Manchin and progressive Democrats also have disagreements over certain provisions. The first being the expansion of Medicare, in addition to lowering the price of prescription drugs. According to Chuck Schumer, these are the main things holding the bill up at this point in time. They also have disagreements over paid family leave. Originally, Joe Biden wanted to have 12 weeks of paid family leave, and now it's been cut down to 4 weeks. Still, even at 4 weeks, Manchin has concerns. They also still have some issues over the IRS monitoring our bank accounts. Yesterday, Manchin strongly criticized the proposal and said that it would most likely not end up in the final bill. Banks for weeks have been fighting back against this idea, and now we have Joe Manchin saying he's not for it. So it sounds like that's probably also going to be eliminated. Here is Senator Joe Manchin giving his thoughts on how everything is currently going.
But I'm interested to know where you think things stand right now, in terms of the battles over, really it's not even Republican versus Democrat anymore. We have a Democrat versus Democrat tension. And as we think about a more perfect union, that's our goal today, where do you think we're going? How is this going to get reconciled?
Well, to start off with, I think everyone knows that I asked for a strategic pause. And I did that truly after a long deliberation and seeing where we were about a month or so ago and seeing the COVID coming back, the variant, seeing basically inflation coming on pretty strong back then, and it's even got stronger since. And also the fallout that I knew, geopolitical fallout from the Afghanistan exit. So I said, with all the unknown, don't you think we ought to hit the pause? And my reason for that was that under the ARP, which we just did in January, 1.9 trillion with a T, Steve, that I thought, well, we had most of all these areas covered. These areas were covered up through 2022. We didn't have that urgency to do that right now. So I said, let's make sure we can address the unknown if it comes. And that way I said, so let's wait. Well, that ship has sailed. Nobody wanted to. I was very much the minority. And when you said about being in the center, I want you to know it's not real crowded here. I don't have a lot of competition. And the bottom line is we're just trying to do something that we can that helps people, the quality of life they have and the quality of life they could have, in a much better way, but also not putting a burden on everybody else, and making sure the jobs that we have, the opportunities that we have, the skill sets are ready to meet the 21st century. We're looking at everything. And so we're talking through this, and we're trying to put a framework, which I think we'll get a framework. But, you know, the devil's in the details. You got to see the text.
Right. And
so we're working on that.
From your perspective, you just spent Sunday morning with President Biden at his home in Delaware. You recently met Representative Jayapal, who's one of the leaders in the House, and some of the progressive agenda items in their bill. And you've also spent a few hours with Senator Bernie Sanders. So you're someone that many people know believes in getting together, communicating, talking, figuring out. So how much gap is between all of you now, and have these meetings where you're spending human time with people helped at all in the process?
It helps tremendously. Anytime you know your colleagues, you're always, and the more you know them, the more you have in common maybe that you didn't think you had, the more that you want to work and cooperate together if you can. Getting a chance to spend a few hours with Pramila, Congresswoman Jayapal, getting a chance to spend some hours with Bernie Sanders, Senator Sanders. It's helped tremendously. I think hopefully they understand me better. I tell people, I says, I'm a compassionate capitalist. And other people might not consider themselves capitalists. With that, then we have to realize we have some differences. I don't want anything to happen right now because I think that we do need a pause. I'm in a minority there. I could just say, no, I'm not going to do anything. I don't even want to talk or negotiate. But I've been trying to look at and see everyone's position. So I have said this. If I was dealing and the shoe was on the other foot, I'd be happy if someone would talk to me who had the ability to either work with me and help me get something done, or decide you get nothing done.
Right.
And I've tried to put myself in the most positive position to help where I think I can and still go home and explain it. That's the big thing, Steve. If I can't go home and explain, I can't vote for it.
Yeah, look,
So it seems like we have all these Democratic leaders telling us that they're close, but if we really look at how things are going, it seems like they're still pretty far away. Can they really work out all these differences by the end of this week? In my opinion, it's highly doubtful. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, if you would like to receive a couple of free stocks from Webull, make sure to quickly claim them by clicking my link in the description box below. To receive the first stock, you will need to fully open an account. Then to receive the second free stock, which will be valued up to $2,000, you'll need to make a qualifying deposit of at least $5. And even if you aren't all that interested in investing or continuing to invest at this point in time, you can always sell the free stocks you receive and transfer that money, however much they're worth, right back to your bank account. So free stocks or free money is completely up to you. So once again, I hope everyone has a great and safe rest of their day. If you did find this video helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you would quickly give it a like. That does really help out with the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you, as always, in the next video.